Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today we are going to be doing something pretty special. We are going to be racing the Bathurst 6-hour endurance race. A race for production cars around Mount Panorama, and it is absolutely awesome. So, before we get into it, a little bit of background as to why I am doing this. At the end of my F1 2020 driver career, I kind of left the series in limbo, essentially. I said at the end of the final video that I would be teaming up with Yuki Tsunoda at AlphaTauri, remaining at AlphaTauri for the 2021 season, and mysteriously that did not happen. So what happened in 2021? Well, we will be filling in the gaps throughout this series. So obviously we did not make a return to Formula 1 as the season has well gotten underway by the time the Easter weekend rolls around for the Bathurst 6-hour in that year. So we are going to be racing in said 6-hour, and we've bought ourselves a Nissan R33 Skyline to race in it. Not a car that's known for racing in the 6-hour, but it's one of my favorite cars, so I have chosen that one. So without further ado, let's see what we're up against and who else is racing in this Bathurst 6-hour here in Gran Turismo 7. But I will quickly mention that not all of the drivers are in entirely accurate cars. I did my best with most of them. Some of them I just decided to have a little bit of fun with, and some of them I didn't want to include the same car twice, so I went with different options. But the majority of the cars in this race are actually cars you would see in the real life Bathurst 6-hour. So let's get into the qualifying results and run through the drivers that way. Pole position went the way of Beric Linton with a time of 2 minutes 23.2, and he's a former winner of the event, so no surprise that he is up the front, and you'll notice the Need for Speed livery on that car. Second place went the way of Tony D'Alberto with a time of 2 minutes 25.2, so 2 seconds off the pole time in the Holden Commodore. Definitely not a Chevy Camaro in disguise. Rod Salmon starting third, and he's driving the big C63 Mercedes, followed by Bradley Schumacher in fourth in the Subaru WRX. Now, side note on him, no relation to the Formula 1 Schumachers, though he did team up with the Mexican driver Sergio Perez, not P-E-R-E-Z, P-I-R-E-S, not the Formula 1 Sergio Perez, but I did have a little laugh at that. Starting in 5th position will be Garth Walden in the A45 Mercedes. Owner of a very large racing operation is Garth Walden, and starting alongside will be Tony Quinn in the local Legends Mustang. And Tony Quinn will be one of the fastest drivers in a straight line in the Mustang, though when they get to the corners there will be likely much faster competitors. Starting in 7th position will be Jason Barguana in the Audi TTS Coupe, and you'll notice on the back of his car it says Papa Bargs. That is what the commentators called him once, and it made me laugh, so I wrote it on the back of his car. Anyway, we are now starting in 8th position after qualifying. We set a time of 2 minutes 28.8, so we're a fair way off the pole time, more than 5.5 seconds away, so yeah, we have a lot of time to make up to the likes of Beric Linton and Tony D'Alberto, who are starting on the front row, but I think we will have much better race pace and consistency throughout the course of the 6-hour event. Behind us will be Tyler Mecklin in the Mitsubishi Lancer, starting alongside Rick Shaw in 10th position in the Mazda RX-8. In 11th position we have Nathan Morecambe in the Ford Focus. Almost won the race in that car if it weren't for his co-driver Chaz Moster pulling the gearbox out of it in the closing laps. And I can't remember if I got jammed in gear or lost top gear, but either way they lost a lot of pace in the last few laps, and ultimately that gave the win to Luke Searle and Paul Morris that year. We'll get to him in a moment. Starting alongside Nathan Morecambe will be Steve Owen in the Lexus RCF. Starting in 13th position then we have James Holloway in the Toyota Celica. You'll notice the classic rally livery on that car. And starting behind him we have Paul Morris in a rather interesting choice of car. We have the DMC DeLorean. That is one I just decided to have fun with. Obviously, DeLoreans do not race in the Bathurst 6 Hour. Behind them we have Steve McHugh in the Suzuki Swift. A class winner in the event is that Suzuki Swift. They've won the E-Class in the past, that being for compact cars. It is the slowest class, but a class win is a class win. Alongside Steve McHugh will be Lachlan Bloxham in the Toyota 86. Starting in 17th position will be Jake Camilleri in the Mazda Atenza, and you'll notice the Le Mans livery from the 787B all over that car. Starting alongside him will be Jordan Cox in the Honda Civic Type R, and Jordan Cox is known for doing some crazy things in that car, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do here, but qualifying not going his way. Starting in 19th position will be the Mini Cooper of James Keane, and off the back of the grid will be the Volkswagen Scirocco of Peter Lacey after a crash in qualifying. Now finally, before we get into the race, I would like to show off the livery on our car and point out a couple of things in particular. On the side of the car you'll notice the enormous Pigeon Pants sign. This was an idea someone gave me and I absolutely love the name. So Pigeon Pants are our major sponsor for this event. On the back of the car you'll notice it says Ouagadougou, which is the name of a city in Africa, which just is an absolute mess to try and read, but it's fun to say. Maybe in this universe that is where our driver is from. Ouagadougou is in Burkina Faso, by the way, which is why we have their flag on the side of the car. Oh, and one final thing about this video that will be different to most of the videos I've made before is I actually commentated over the race live, so unfortunately my PlayStation 5 microphone is not quite as good as the one I'm using right now, which is strange. It's the same brand, they're both Turtle Beach. This one's from the PlayStation 3 days, but it records in a better quality, I believe. But anyway, it doesn't sound quite as good, but it was much easier than trying to commentate over it in post. So that's why I did that. It's trying something new at the same time, so yeah, hopefully it works out well, and I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into it. Alrighty. Hello everyone. This is weird. I imagine I've already done a fairly in-depth introduction, at least that's what I have planned to do. That is up to future me, but this is what I am recording first. Anyway, I think we all know what we are doing by now, so I think we should just get into the race. This is going to take a long time. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we are with the event all set up. And as you can see, 6 hours of racing up ahead, 20 cars on the grid, and a bit of news since qualifying. We've been sent to the back of the grid as we had an illegal brake package on the car in qualifying. So we fixed that up, but we will be starting from the back. So that is unfortunate. But anyway, yeah, we are going to be starting the race at dawn, a little bit earlier than real life. But I wanted it to be dark at the start just for fun, basically. Other than that, we have the entire custom grid set up here with everyone in their correct positions. We have the professional difficulty, the highest one we can choose. Other than that, though, I think it is time we just get into it. Let's go. And away we go then for the Bathurst 6 Hour. We get a great launch, but we have a face full of Mini off the start, and we don't really have anywhere to go with it. And to be honest, I think I'm just going to take it nice and easy through this first corner. We don't want to end up with damage on the first lap, so we're just going to take it slowly, and we'll get past the Mini on the exit. We've got the Mazda Atenza of Jake Camilleri right in front of us as we clear James Keane in the Mini. Peter Lacey in front of us in the prismatic colours there of the Volkswagen Scirocco, and we'll grab him as well as Jordan Cox and Lockie Bloxham in the Civic and the 86 there. We've made a few positions in the early phases as we try and go around the outside of the Suzuki Swift through Griffin's Bend. We won't find a way around there as we now go to the right, and we should be able to get the Swift in a straight line. That car has actually got some pretty decent straight line speed. Little Swift is, well, Swift. But anyway, we get past Steve McHugh and we get the job done there. Next up is Paul Morris in the DMC DeLorean, putting a lot of pressure on the James Holloway Toyota Celica in the retro livery of the old rally car. And we are slowly closing in on these two. We did graze the wall a little bit through Reed Park back there, but we're okay to continue pushing on the car. It doesn't seem to be tracking in any weird directions. But anyway, we've got Paul Morris up ahead. Let's see if we can make the move into Skyline. He is right on the back of the Celica. He's having a look too as we go up the inside. We'll get through, and hopefully we all survived that one as we go a little bit deep and we get a wheel on the grass there, and we lose the position to the Celica of James Holloway. And we are banging doors with Paul Morris as we head down through the S's. This is not where you want to be running side by side, but we will manage to get back through and tuck in behind the Celica once again, and we'll make the move to the left along the straight. We've got a fair bit of straight line speed in this R33 Skyline, so we're clear, and we can now chase the pack ahead. That was a tense little battle there, but we are through. Alright, we're going to take a moment to have a look at a replay of the start. Beric Linton on the inside, D'Alberto on the outside, blue and red facing off down towards the first corner. Beric Linton getting a good start, D'Alberto putting the power down, and they're side by side as they head into turn one. D'Alberto around the outside carrying good speed, good exit for Linton though as they run side by side up Mountain Straight. D'Alberto putting the power down, and all the horses in that V8 engine helping out as he powers past Beric Linton on the run up towards turn two. And Tony D'Alberto takes the lead as they run up towards Griffin's Bend for the first time in the dark. D'Alberto has the clearest view and takes the race lead in the early phase of this one. Alright, so we're now catching up to Steve Owen in the Lexus RCF. We'll see if we can get past him as soon as possible. He's a little bit slow across the top, quite quick in a straight line. The car seems quite heavy, especially I remember from driving that one in qualifying, it did have that heavy kind of feeling. We get through anyway on Steve Owen, and Rick Shaw right in front of us, putting a lot of pressure on the Ford Focus of Nathan Morecambe. So Rick Shaw making his way through the field as well, and he goes for the move down the inside into Forest Selbo. Can't quite get it done and backs out of it as we get the run now along Conrod Straight. Gotta say that Mazda has some pretty good straight line speed as the Ford Focus pulling away slightly as we all head down towards the chase. Can we make a move on Rick Shaw here? We're actually closing up a little bit along the straight. Shaw throws the defense as we head into the chase, and we're just not quite with the momentum. We continue to close the gap to Rick Shaw. We'll see if we can make the move somewhere over the top of the mountain while he's being held up by Nathan Morecambe, because he does have pace on his side, does Rick Shaw at this stage of the race. Nathan Morecambe in the Focus struggling a little bit more over the top, but we're all in a bit of a train at the moment. We'll have to see who's at the head of it a little bit later on, but at the moment we're right behind Rick Shaw as we now head towards McPhillamy Park. We need to get a good run through here, maybe we can make a move down the inside into Skyline. So let's see, we go for the move down the inside and we'll get a little bit deep there. We've just made a bit of contact, spinning a little bit there, and we will let those two back through. That was a little bit wild. That move wasn't quite on for us. We couldn't get it stopped. Nathan Morecambe holds on, but now Rick Shaw is right behind him, and we're very lucky to get away with no damage there. I think we did make a slight contact with Nathan Morecambe, but we seem to be okay for now. Rick Shaw putting the pressure on Nathan Morecambe still as we head down Conrod Straight now. Let's see if Shaw can make the move, or if Nathan Morecambe has the pace to hold on as we all travel down and up once again through a roller coaster that is Conrod Straight. And we'll see if we can carry a bit better speed through here without losing the rear end. We may be able to go for the move on Rick Shaw into the chase. Nice and stable through there this time. Lunge up the inside, and Morecambe going for the move around the outside. We've been off the road now as we go bouncing over the grass. Rick Shaw gets the spot back, but Nathan Morecambe making the move there and gaining a position. So continuing to follow Rick Shaw around. He is now caught up to young Bradley Schumacher in the Subaru WRX and we're both in tandem closing up to him. Nathan Morecambe getting away slightly in the Ford Focus as we get a good run out of the cutting, and we go down the inside into Reed Park, and we get the move done on Rick Shaw. That was a long time coming, and we've now got Schumacher in front of us as we head over the top of the mountain once again. And looks like the train has dispersed a little bit. Might have been Schumacher holding up the queue in the Subaru, not finding the same pace in the race that he did in qualifying, as we get a little bit loosey-goosey through McPhillamy Park. But we'll now go for the move down the inside of Schumacher, and we get the job done. We now head into the final corner, and we've got Nathan Morecambe right in front of us with Jason Bargwanna just further up the road. Morecambe throws to the fence as we head towards the first corner, goes back to the racing line. We'll go for the lunge down the inside, and we'll get the job done on Nathan Morecambe. Alright, closing in now to Jason Bargwanna, Papa Bargs, and we'll see if we can make the move around the outside of Griffin's Bend. We've got the nose in, and he does give us the room just about there. Sketchy move around the outside, but we get the job done, and that's another position for us, with Tyler Mecklem up next. Alright, we've got a good run on Tyler Mecklem as we head over the hill. Can we make the move maybe around the outside of Solomon Park? Sketchy place to make a move, but we get it done, and we move ourselves ahead of Tyler Mecklem. And we've got Garth Walden right in front of us. We'll go for the move down the inside of Garth Walden, and we get past him as well in the AMG Mercedes, running a pretty good race there in the A45. Alright, so we're on the back now of Rod Salmon in the C63 AMG, much heavier than the other Mercedes of Garth Walden, the A45 Mercedes, so maybe we'll be able to make a move over the top of the mountain. Bit of contact there as he's very slow. We try and go around the outside, and we cut him off a little bit, just about pit maneuver ourselves on the front of Rod Salmon's car. But we get through nonetheless with a very scary moment there, but we get away with it, no damage done, and we are up and into fourth position. The Ford Mustang of Tony Quinn is up next. Oh, we're starting to lap some people now. We've got the Jake Camilleri Mazda Atenza. That's just my alarm going off. Oh, we've gone deep into turn one, and that's a little mishap for us there. Bit of contact with the wall. We're okay to rejoin the track, but we've lost a fair bit of time, and I think maybe we did damage the car slightly. Yeah, the car's turning very slightly to the left at the moment. That'll clear itself soon enough, but we have certainly damaged the car in that situation. Oh, we've had another moment there as we head into the second corner. Griffin's Bend will get back past Jake Camilleri in the Atenza, put him a lap down once again. Alright, we catch up to Rod Salmon once again, but that straight line speed in the C63, again helping him stay ahead of us as we both put a lap on James Keane in the Mercedes. The Mini. Nonetheless, we will continue to push on, and I still think we can make a move on Rod Salmon somewhere over the top of the mountain. He's always quite slow through this section, as you can see once again, and we may be able to make a move up the inside into... No, he blocks that one off. We have to go maybe to the inside of Skyline, but even on this short run you can see that straight line speed really helping him stay ahead of us. Bit of contact, we'll get through now finally as we make more contact as he comes barging in to the S's, and Rod Salmon, really desperate to hold on to this position, is fourth on the road at the moment that we are arguing over, and we're both getting a little aggressive in this fight as we go for the big lunge, and we've made a mess of that one, and Rod Salmon holds on once again as we've absolutely pounded the barriers. One thing that is a little concerning is that we are dropping further away from the leaders. The gap is now well over 20 seconds, and it was considerably less than that a short time ago. So yeah, we need to get our act together or we won't be in contention. Thankfully there is 5.5 hours left to go in this race, so we have plenty of time as we put a lap on Jordan Cox in the Honda Civic. Now we're close once again to Rod Salmon as we head over the top, and this time going to be looking to the right straight away as he's very slow through that section, and the weight of that Mercedes holding him back through the top of the mountain section, and we get around the outside quite easily. And now we can set our sights on Tony Quinn once again in the Mustang, and he's actually right here in front of us. So the Rod Salmon's closed the gap to Tony Quinn quite considerably, as he seems to be struggling a little bit. Does Tony Quinn in the Mustang over the top of the mountain, down the inside as we head into the dipper there. Not really a traditional overtaking place as we go for a late apex there, as we were very much pinched in on the inside. We do get ahead of Tony Quinn, but the straight line speed of that Mustang may see him get back in front of us. And there he goes on the inside. Goodbye, Tony Quinn. Once we get to the twisty stuff once again, I think we'll be able to make our way past, maybe even slightly earlier. We have a good run out of the chase. The straight line speed of the Mustang helping Quinn hold on as he covers the inside into the final corner. Oh, he's out wide. He's made a mistake. And we've got the run now as we had to back that one off a little bit on the exit. And I think Quinn might just hold on. But that was a bit of a moment there for Tony Quinn in the Mustang. He covers again down the inside as we have a look to the outside, and we're pushing him through the first corner, just trying to carry some more momentum, but a little bump there, and Tony Quinn remains ahead of us as we've got more lapped cars getting into the fight now. We should hopefully be able to clear these guys before the next corner. We get past Steve McHugh, and we should also get past the young Lockie Bloxham. We can't, Tony Quinn does, so that's going to help him out as we're stuck behind Bloxham for a little bit longer, but we get through eventually and get ahead of Bloxham, and now we can set our sights on Quinn once again, but that did cost us a bit. Now Quinn has some traffic, and that is Lacey in the Volkswagen, and we get past him, and that's really helped us close the gap to Quinn. Quinn on the defense, and now into the right-hander at the end of Reed Park into Solomon, and that's given us a little bit of a chance as we're now going to go around the outside and drifting our way through as we head to the Metal Grate, as this part of the circuit is known, and we've gotten now ahead of Tony Quinn. Looks like we've got the Toyota Celica of James Holloway in front of us now, and we'll be making the move on him very soon. He's a lap down, and you can see he's already pulling out of the way a little bit. Could have probably managed that one a little better. We got a little bit tangled up as we got to the corner at the same time there, but we get through. Oh, we've got Beric Linton in front of us now in the BMW. We're catching up to another car on the same lap as we get a little bit too close for comfort there as we head into the S's. He seems to be struggling a little bit at this phase of the race. I don't know if he's used up his tyres more than we have, or what's going on with that BMW, but he's lacking a bit of speed over the top of the mountain. Either way, we drift our way around the outside. We're not looking after our tyres at all, and we get through on Beric Linton, but with the straight line speed advantage that I think that BMW has, he will have an opportunity to get back past, and indeed he will, as we head along Conrod Straight. Beric Linton back through and back into second position. Tony D in the Commodore is still leading the way and doing a very good job of it as we now head into the chase once again down the inside of Beric Linton, and we're all over the place, squirming on the brakes there, just slightly too deep, and Beric Linton holds on once again. Alright, over the top of the mountain now once again. I think we'll have a chance to get past Beric Linton here as we head through the Metal Grate corner once again, and we go to the outside of McPhillamy as we go sliding and banging doors with Beric Linton, and we'll get the move done around the outside. And we've actually got a good run here as we head through the middle sector, as we now go to the outside of Tony D'Alberto, around the outside of McPhillamy Park with the dangerous sand trap on the outside there. We get the move done on the slide, and we're back, or into the lead, I should say, for the first time in this race, as we're a little bit hot there as we head down into the S's. We've got Paul Morris in the DeLorean in front of us now, so we'll see if we can make the move on him soon enough, and we'll go down the inside into Forest Elbow. So we've used almost half a tank of fuel so far in this race, and I haven't really talked about pit stops yet, so we're almost 40 minutes in, so that's about an hour 20 per tank of fuel. Yeah, that's around 4 stops in this race for us. We've caught up to Schumacher. He's dropped a long way through the field. catching up to Steve Owen in the Lexus as we get a little bit close there, but we should be able to get through, and we're okay. There's a whole cluster of cars here as the Atenza once again of Jake Camilleri losing laps here, and he's lost one now just recently to the Suzuki Swift of Steve McHugh, and we'll get past him as well in a moment, and we'll do just that. And he's having a good little battle, that Suzuki Swift, with Lockie Bloxham, who's just up the road. And we'll get past Lockie Bloxham along Conrod Straight. Looks like we've got Jason Barguana in front of us. He's lost a bit of ground there in the course of this race as we go skating down the inside. And he's going to get the switchback. A bit of contact there on the exit. As Bugsy gets back in front of us, we'll get back past straight away though, get back ahead. Alrighty, catching up to Nathan Morecambe in the Ford Focus. Let's see if we can get past him somewhere over the top before the straight line speed of the Ford can help him out, and we do very easily there. Got Rick Shaw up next, so he has finally cleared the Ford Focus that he was chasing down for oh so long in the early phases of this race. And that's a cool thing about seeing all these cars sort of a lap down now, as they're all having their own little battles as well. It looks like Rick Shaw's finally won out against Nathan Morecambe. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, okay, we're fine. Alrighty, we're fast approaching the end of the first hour. First round of pit stops isn't too far away for us, and it's probably a little earlier for some as we put a lap on Tyler Mecklem in the Mitsubishi to get ahead of him. So there's another car a lap down. We've got a decent lead at this point in the race, so yeah, at the moment we're just cruising around and finding the limits. Alrighty, catching up to Garth Walden in the A45 AMG, and it looks like we'll be able to make an overtake very soon and put the 6th place runner a lap down as we go around the outside of Hell Corner, and we go a bit wide there, and he'll hold on for a bit longer. Alright, attempt number 2, which should be a lot easier along this little short shoot. We get ahead of Garth Walden. I think that's 3 purple sectors so far. We might be on for a personal best lap. Alright, into the final corner. Looks like it's Paul Morris that we're catching up to in the DeLorean. We'll grab some slipstream along the run to the line, try and get this fastest lap of the race in, and we do get the fastest lap. And it's a 27.17. That's well over a second faster. No, over 2 seconds faster than our previous best. Where did that come from? Jeez. Rod Salmon making his first stop, so I think he has pit late enough to make it a 4-stop race. I think Tony Quinn might just be a 5. Alright, catching up to Tony Quinn once again. Oh, we've given him a whack there. I'm going to go past around the outside. We've definitely damaged our car a little bit in that. He's still trying to stick the nose in up the inside. We'll make our way past. Here we go, finally the call to make a pit stop. And wow, we actually got through quite a few laps on this stint, so that's pretty good. Anyway, into this rather tricky pit entry. As I say that, we run a little bit deep, but just about get away with it. And of course, we'll be going on to another set of the sports soft tyres. Wow, look, that is very little fuel left in that tank. Well, this gives me a benchmark at the end of the race of how early I can stop and get to the end. I can stop with about 1 hour 20 to go, so that'll be something to work towards. Alright, tank is slowly filling up. It does take quite the while, but anyway, it is now full. We're out of pit lane, and away we go again. Oh dear, oh dear. Yep, that's enough. We are now on day 2. We're nearing the end of the 2nd hour, and we're coming towards the end of lap number 46, and we're continuing to work our way through some lapped cars as we run a little bit deep into the final corner. But yeah, I started this race yesterday now, so at the current rate we're probably going to get maybe around about 140 laps, just under. So it's going to be a long one. Not quite a Bathurst 1000, but these are production cars. Haven't seen Tony D'Alberto for a while. He's literally at the other end of the track. We might not even see him for the rest of the race. Got
Garth Walden in the Mercedes A45. Should be able to get past him on the straight pretty easily. What's slightly concerning is that we are losing time to Tony D'Alberto. He is actually catching us while we're struggling to get back up to speed, really, after just coming back to it today. Now, is there a braking board on the left back there? I'm going to have to get to the bottom of that one at some point. Tony D'Alberto is really catching up. He's 47 seconds behind now. Looks like Tony D'Alberto's made a pit stop. He's lost a lot of time to us now. So he'll need to do 5 stops as well. So a few more stops being made. Hey, some of them have moved on to hard tyres. Oops. That's not allowed. We're meant to be using sports softs, guys. And now we definitely have to stop. 0.2 laps of fuel left. Let's hit the brakes a little earlier this time. That's much better. Onto the softs again. And now we wait for the fuel. There we go. Wagadu. Oh, there's the Mustang. Right behind him out of pit lane. Oh, that'll give us a target. Tony D'Alberto's done a 2-minute 23.8. My god, that is definitely a time I can't manage. He is absolutely flying. That is actually scary. By the way, I did a bunch of test races before this. Not as long, but yeah, I did a bunch of testing to make sure I sort of got this right, and never did any of them get into the 27s, 26s in lap time, let alone the 23s. Good golly, that is absolutely blazing along. Then again, I didn't actually test that Camaro too much because that was a fairly late addition to the pack, but still, I qualified the BMW faster. Anyway, we caught the Mustang again, heading down through the S's, so let's hope we can make a sneaky little overtake here into Forest Elbow. We'll go down the inside and we'll get through. Get Tony Quinn a lap down, but he may get it back straight away as we head on to Conrod Straight, and off he goes. Alright, we're approaching the end of the 3rd hour now. About 1 lap left in this hour. Looks like a lot of people have moved on to the hard tyres for the duration of this one. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Soft, even sports soft tyres just seem to last forever. So yeah, that's a bit of an unusual choice. That said, it's not slowing down Tony D'Alberto, that's for sure. Geez, he's only 14 seconds behind me. I really got to get a move on, but I'm driving as fast as I can. I'm hoping he has to make an extra stop or I might be screwed. Oh dear. Okay. Got a bit tangled up there, but we're all good. D'Alberto's got the lap down to a 23.6 now. Less than 10 seconds behind. 2 hours 45 to go. We're into the second half of the race. But that's a long time to try and hold someone off. Leads down to 7.4 seconds. This is getting scary. Oh dear, that's gonna make it a lot less. That might actually cost me the lead. We're okay for now. But he is right there. There he is. I said we might not see Tony D'Alberto again. Oh, the car is severely steering to the side. That is not ideal. Alright, we're going to have to take this very carefully, this section. Oh, we're caught up to Tony Quinn again, finally. We'll get past just yet. Looks like Tony D'Alberto's lost a bit of pace as of late. Oh, we've been turned round and round by Tony Quinn. Oh dear. We're okay. The car's still tracking relatively straight somehow. We'll go on board with Tony Quinn and see his perspective in car here, see what things look like from this angle, and there's a big open space on the right, and yeah, we just tried to shut that door, so yeah, that one's on us. Alright, big dive on Tony Quinn. Oh, we've got the air tender right in our way here. We'll get down the inside, we'll graze with the wall. He's going to hold up Tony Quinn for us. Looks like Tony D'Alberto made another pit stop. So I think at the moment, this is kind of what the race looks like. I think both myself and Tony D'Alberto have two stops to go at this point. And Tony D'Alberto is on an absolute tear, and we're going to watch this lap from the replay cameras and see the master at work, because he is setting some absolutely blistering lap times in the Commodore and is rapidly closing the gap. Even along the straights, that thing looks absolutely fantastic, absolutely flying along and doing everything Tony D'Alberto wants it to do. Turning hard into turn 2, Griffin's Bend, getting through there very nicely, and now along the run towards turn 3 and the cutting coming up. Trickiest part of the circuit, say some, and it's no problem for Tony D'Alberto at the moment. Absolutely flying through there, just carrying so much speed everywhere and doing a really great job. And he's on course to improve his lap yet again. So we'll see how this goes as he heads now over the top of the mountain once again. And this is where the money is made, and how close to the barrier you can get, how hard you can push in production cars. It is always a big question. How hard can you push? How much will the car take? And let's see as he heads down the hill. And this tricky run through the S's, threading the needle between barriers of concrete as he runs down towards Forest Elbow, the most crucial corner exit of the circuit as it heads on to the longest straight, Conrod Straight. Through Forest Elbow he goes now, and everything looking absolutely beautiful through there for Tony D'Alberto as he now puts the power down. And this is where the big V8 engine is in its element, of flying along Conrod Straight, absolutely singing along and using every single one of the available horsepowers, as he has absolutely no traffic in front of him. It's a perfect conditions to try and set the fastest lap of the race as he heads now into the chase and out the other side. We'll see if he can improve on his lap as he heads now towards the final corner, Murray's Corner, and let's see if he finally improves on his best lap once again. He set his personal best a few laps ago as he comes towards the line, and he did improve on his best lap. It was a 2 minutes 23.366. Absolutely flying is Tony D'Alberto. So as I've been scrolling through replay cameras, I had a chance to cross this battle that's playing out between 4 cars fighting it out for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, all in one part of the circuit. This is crazy stuff going on here, and at the moment we have Jason Barguana in 7th, leading Tyler Mecklem in 8th, Rick Shaw in 9th, going around the outside almost into the wall, as Steve Owen in 10th position now takes 9th ahead of Rick Shaw, who was really close to having a crash there and just about got away with it. Lucky save there for Rick Shaw. Great driving to get away with that one. He's on the limit, pushing that little RX-8 for everything it is worth, and hanging out with the big boys in the 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi Lancer and the Audi and the Lexus as well there. And these 4 drives are putting on a mega scrap, and amazing for the crowd to watch here at Bathurst as they head down the S's, spread out a little bit as Jason Barguana has taken the lead of this battle pack ahead of Tyler Mecklem. Rick Shaw now closing up to the Lancer down the S's. The little Mazda seems very strong in this part of the circuit, so we'll see what he can do as they head along Conrod Straight. Doesn't quite have the straight line speed, the Mazda, but it is mega quick over the top, and you can see how much time he gained to Tyler Mecklem there as they head along the Conrod Straight now in the slipstream for the Mazda, as Steve Owen tagging along as well. Not quite able to do anything at the moment in the Lexus, just following along with this battle pack, but unfortunately for Rick Shaw and the Mazda, he doesn't quite have the straight line speed as I mentioned, and he starts to drop away from the Lancer. Oh, there's a move going on here. It is Tyler Mecklem getting back past Jason Barguana, retaking the lead of the battle pack. They've been working their way through traffic as they go side by side. Barguana out wide, and Tyler Mecklem gets the spot back and moves himself into the lead of the battle pack and into 7th position. All right, looks like the battle pack is closing up once again. Jason Barguana right on the back of Tyler Mecklem, with Rick Shaw in hot pursuit, as well as Steve Owen right there as well. 4 cars within the space of a second here as they head through Forest Elbow. Shaw throws the block on Steve-O and not letting the big Lexus through as they head now onto Conrod Straight. Jason Bargwanna trying to chase down Tyler Mecklem, but Shaw's the one with a good exit as they run now side by side. Rick Shaw getting past and making the move on Jason Bargwanna, and now here comes Steve-O, and he's going to pull alongside as well, using the Lexus power to draw alongside, and the slipstream from the Mazda RX-8 helping as well as they run south side by side through the chase, and Steve Owen gets through, and Jason Bargwanna goes from fighting for 7th to ending up down in 10th in the space of Conrod Straight, but he's still taking the fight to Steve Owen as they run side by side now towards the final corner, Murray's Corner, as they keep this battle going. Now into Murray's Corner, Steve Owen gets the move done and gets clear of Jason Bargwanna and move himself up into 9th position. What a battle these guys are having, and it's going to continue on because Rick Shaw is looking pacey, but Jason Bargwanna is not going to be a happy camper. He'll be angry and he will want to get some of these positions back, so let's watch out for him. Rick Shaw now really closing up to the back of Tyler Mecklem, and it looks like he's going to go for a move somewhere in the near future as Steve Owen and Jason Bargwanna are starting to drop off the back. So Rick Shaw's the one who's really got the pace at the moment, but where can he make a move in the little Mazda? It's hard to make an overtake here at Bathurst across the top of the mountain. There's not a lot of opportunities, so it's got to be Forest Elbow for Rick Shaw if he wants to get it done. Here comes Steve Owen as well, and he's going to be looking, but Shaw goes for the dive down the inside. Mecklem leaves him room, and Rick Shaw gets through and takes 7th position and takes point in the battle pack. Tyler Mecklem straight away into the slipstream as Steve Owen and Jason Bargwanna still pursue the pair of them. But now Tyler Mecklem coming up alongside once again, and here comes Steve Owen as well. Mecklem back through. Steve Owen is now right behind Rick Shaw, who's tucked right under the rear wing of Mecklem. Shaw back down the inside into the chase, and he might get this position back from Tyler Mecklem, sliding on the exit for Rick Shaw, but he gets the move done. Great work for Rick Shaw, and he has retaken 7th position. But here comes Bargwanna. Where has he come from? He was down in 10th a moment ago, but he's got all 3 of them within the space of the last sector. Bargwanna down the inside, and he's not quite able to get the move done, and Rick Shaw holds on for a bit longer. But Bargwanna coming right back into this battle pack, as now it's Tyler Mecklem down the inside of Bargwanna, and looks like he's through as well. So Tyler Mecklem, this battle is swapping all over the place. Now Tyler Mecklem in pursuit of Rick Shaw, and look at the straight line speed of the Lancer, and now he's going to try and pull alongside as Rick Shaw takes the inside line. Mecklem to the outside. Can he get the move done? It's an awkward place to try to do it as they run side by side up towards Griffin's Bend. He'll need to ideally clear Shaw by the time they get to the corner. He's going around the outside, and there's lap cards up ahead as well. Shaw holds on for a little bit longer as they continue to fight, and now up towards the cutting, Rick Shaw maintains the position, and the lap traffic helping him out there as Mecklem stuck a little bit around the outside of Paul Morris, and the Toyota A6 there getting out the way. Lockie blocks him at the wheel, doing the right thing as well. So yes, it has worked out well for Rick Shaw, and he takes the lead of the battle for now. Alright, we're catching up to the Schumacher car again, and we've almost hit the 2-hour marks. 2-hour mark in terms of what's remaining in this race as we get past Bradley Schumacher. We are very rapidly approaching the 4-hour mark in this race, and oh wow, he's right on us as we're heading down towards the chase. We're in the grass a little bit. Let's get out of there. Schumacher back down the inside, and he's actually going to get back through as we're on side by side into the chase, and we're out of control. We'll take to the gravel, and we'll just bail out and turn left here, I think, and just take the safe route back onto the road. Schumacher ends up right back in front of us, so no time gain there for us. He'll let us go, and we'll continue on our way. Blue flags there for the Subaru as we run a little deep into the final corner, and now Schumacher's got the run, but I think we'll be okay. We're into the last 2 hours of the race now, so we've hit the 2/3 mark in this race. So yeah, we're in the closing stages now. We just need to keep the pace up. We've been setting some better lap times recently until that mistake. We've been holding the margin to Tony D'Alberto, but with that mistake he did catch up a few seconds, so we need to try and bring that margin out once again. Catching up to the Atenza once again. I'll love to find out how many laps down he is by now. It's not been a fun day for Jake Camilleri. The car's still smiling though. Oh, I just saw the message on the screen to say we were running out of fuel, and I didn't see how much we have, so we could be in a little bit of trouble here. Alright, into the pits we go. We'll fill it right up with fuel again. We had more fuel left than before. Anyway, Tony D'Alberto's taken the lead for the first time in this race since the very first stint when he led the way off the front row of the grid. So Tony D'Alberto looking strong in this one and is coming back into the fight well and truly. We're going to be filling up right to the top of the tank, but this will be our last full refuel. Our next one, we will probably only need to refuel about half the tank or so, maybe a bit more. So it will be a shorter stop that could play into our hands. Depends if Tony D'Alberto decides to do that or does a full refuel in his final stop. But I believe D'Alberto has 2 stops to go at the moment. Anyway, we come out of pit lane. Tony D'Alberto, 36 seconds up the road, so we need to keep an eye on that margin, make sure it doesn't get any bigger. So I mentioned we'll be making our final stop a little bit early, so that'll be around 1 hour 20 to go when we make that final stop. Basically, as soon as we cross over that mark, I'll be coming into the pit lane, filling up the tank to the top, and that should get us safely to the end. Things happened to Tony D'Alberto though. It's only 4 seconds up the road from us now, so I don't know if he made a if he made a pit stop, he would have come out behind us. So Tony D'Alberto has had an issue somewhere, and now we're right on him. Tony D'Alberto's really slow. He's got some kind of issue in the Commodore, and yes, he's now running around very slowly, so that's unfortunate for D'Alberto. Hopefully whatever it is, he can get that resolved, but at the moment he's losing a lot of time. We're trying to desperately find a way through. He doesn't want to give up the race lead, of course, and we're not able to find our way around. And oh, we've given him a big hit there, and he's thankfully able to save it, but he was so slow into that left-hander. I was not expecting that. So yes, I don't know what's going on with the D'Alberto mobile, but he's losing a lot of time. And even, you know, in this straight section here where that Commodore should be strong, oh, we've had a moment, into the wall we go. You know, he's losing time even on the straights, so something's gone amiss with that car, unfortunately. Oh dear, oh dear. That's our first actual spin for a little while. Okay. That was borderline. Just about got away with it. Oh, 27.4. That was a good lap. Alright, we'll push this stint for one more lap, and then we'll come in. We will be coming into the pits anyway as we go off-roading. Oh! That was a little close on the rejoin, but anyway, into the pits we go. Okay, we're not pitting on this lap. Okay, let's get through here. Let's head into the pit lane, brake nice and early this time, and oh, we can't turn. Okay, handbrake did it. Okay, final stop. We've still got more than half a tank of fuel left. We'll fill it up to the top anyway, and this will take us to the end of the race with probably a couple of laps to spare, but better to be safer than sorry. It's been a long race. Alright, in we come to the box then. Final set of the Sports Soft compound tyres are going onto the car right now. The crew take them away. The fuel man takes over to refuel the car right to the very top. We're underway once again for the last stint of the Bathurst 6 hour out at pit lane, and away we go. No cars around us. We can just push on to the end. We come out in front of Tony D'Alberto. So we got nothing to worry about. We can cruise to the end and just hope that he doesn't find those 2-minute 23 lap times again. Alrighty then, we are into the final hour and we have a cluster of cars to work our way through here. So we go around the outside of Peter Lacey in the Sirocco. Got the Atenza. He seems to be involved in any group of cars we catch up to. Also got the Celica, which is back ahead of the Volkswagen Sirocco. And we've got Toyota 86 of Lockie Blockton. We'll get past him as well. Oh, we finally see Rick Shaw. Haven't seen him for a long time in this race, it seems. He's absolutely pushing along the Mitsubishi there. Tyler Mecklem holding up Rick Shaw at the moment. And yeah, it looks like Rick Shaw in the little Mazda has got some decent pace as we go skating around the outside of Forest Elbow. Or Mecklem being held up there by Nathan Morecombe in the Focus. And we've got absolutely nowhere to go behind these two. They're doing a very good job of blocking the entire road. We will get through eventually on Nathan Morecombe. Rick Shaw losing time as well. Behind James Keane in the Mini, who was back there, I think. But anyway, we'll make our way around the outside of Tyler Mecklem as we head through McPhillamy Park. Less than 40 minutes to go now. We're getting there. We're almost to the end. Alright, we got up to Barrett Linton a little earlier this lap, and there's some traffic in front, but we've had a moment, and that may cost us the opportunity to get through. And I think it will, unless Barrett Linton's really held up by the Celica here, and that actually has happened. We go for the lunge down the inside. This time we get it stopped, and we get through finally on Barrett Linton, who's still stuck behind the Celica, and that has given us the lap over Barrett Linton. We've got Steve Owen just up the road. Just under half an hour left in the race now. We are really coming towards the closing phases of this one, so let's keep pushing on. And we've done, 90% of the work. Oh, okay. Barrett Linton back through, and that's a position lost for us. We're going to have to go for the move, maybe into the chase. No, we're not close enough. We have a look. We have a big look. We have a lunge. Bit of contact made, but no overtake. Now in the slipstream, actually, our straight line speed actually is pretty good. So in the slipstream of that BMW, we look okay, and now we'll go to the inside at Griffin's Bend. Have to be a little bit later on the brakes than that. We get the move done, finally get ahead of Barrett Linton, and this time I think we have it for sure. We've got the entire top of the mountain to be able to pull away, and a few laps cars that may... Oh, he's back through. One slide and he's back through. Alright, let's try this again. Lunge up the inside here into the right-hander, and we're still side by side, and this is going to get tricky. We're catching up to some lap cars. Nathan Morecombe is in the way, as well as Jordan Cox, and we get through. Nathan Morecombe's turned us a little bit. We're trying to get to the left, but there wasn't quite a car's length there, and we turned ourselves around on the front of Nathan Morecombe's car. Now Barrett Linton's getting back past us as he sits in behind Jordan Cox. We'll go around the outside of Cox, Linton to the inside, as I think we're trying to battle away 3 wide there into the top of the mountain. It's not worked out for us. We've found the barriers, and Barrett Linton is still stuck behind Jordan Cox. We need to take advantage of this. We need to get away right now through Forest Elbow before Linton can get through. Late on the brakes, trying to get the car turned. I think we've got a bit of damage to deal with for a minute, but Linton is still stuck behind Jordan Cox. I think we might just be okay. Here's a replay from off-board then, as we were side by side with Barrett Linton over the top of the mountain, and we go around the outside of Nathan Morecombe, but you can see we were just so boxed in there, we had to go left, so we didn't run into Jordan Cox or just get stuck. And yeah, that was a bit awkward with Nathan Morecombe there, and we're briefly 3 wide on the exit of McPhillamy, and Barrett Linton considered making it 3 wide into the start of the S's and backed out of it. Just over 6 minutes to go now as we cross the line, so this will be the third to last lap as Linton goes around the outside and he gets through. Wow, good move from Beric Linton, and he is not giving up. He wants to stay on the lead lap and he's throwing everything at it to try and hold that position, and he's gone back ahead of us. So Beric Linton really pushing the limits, and he was able to sneak around the outside of turn one. That is an impressive move. Beric Linton will be very light on fuel at the moment. Remember, as I was saying, it's borderline for him whether he can make it to the end or not, and he is really throwing the hammer down at the moment. Even over the top of the mountain, we're struggling to keep up, so Beric Linton's found something, and he is pushing the limits. Second last lap of the race now, and we are really getting close to the end now. Beric Linton is still evading us as we head into Griffin's Bend for the penultimate time, and it looks like Beric Linton may be able to make it to the end unless he pits on this lap, which would be absolutely disastrous for his campaign to stay on the lead lap. He can make a choice. He can stay on the lead lap and potentially run out of fuel, or make a pit stop, and he might not stay on the lead lap if he does so. So it's a tricky one for Beric Linton, but he's really gotten away from us on this lap, and we're struggling to even see him in the distance now. So Beric Linton's done a good job. Alrighty, we're coming up to start the final lap of the race now, and Linton's in the pit lane. What a shame. Beric Linton trying so hard to stay on the lead lap, but it ultimately may not work for him. It's the final lap for us. We've got Jason Bargwana up ahead, and we may be able to pass Papa Bugs one last time before we finish this race off. So into the braking zone at Griffin's Bend for the final time. We'll see if we can chase down Jason Bargwana over the top of the mountain. We've got more than enough fuel to get to the end, but we did calculate that with a few extra laps in mind just to be safe, and looks like we will get to the end at no worries. So all we have to do is just bring it home from this point and see if we can overtake a couple more cars while we are at it. Got Jason Bargwana, as I mentioned, just up the road, so let's see if we can get past him over the top of the mountain somewhere. We're closing quite rapidly as we head towards McPhillamy Park. Can we get to the inside? No, we didn't quite have the turning circle there, and we're going to have to go to the outside as we head into the S's, round the outside of Jason Bargwana. And we get through, bit of a moment there as we head through the S's, now through the dipper, and we get through there nicely. Well, here we go through that. Oh, we've been turned around at the chase for the final time. Jason Bargwana has spun us around, trying to get up the inside into the chase. What a disaster. We've been pretty good through this section in the closing laps, but that's cost us a bit of time. Thankfully, we'd stretched the gap out to Tony D'Alberto. He has been coming back at us. He got it down to just over 20 seconds before that spin, but we will get away with it. But that was a scare we didn't need on the final lap as we come around the final corner towards the line, and we are going to do it after 6 hours. We're gonna win the Bathurst 6-hour Enduro. Whew. That was a long race, but we've done it. First position. Tony D'Alberto in the end, just over 10 seconds shy of the race victory himself. That was honestly actually a lot closer than I expected it to be. I did a bunch of test races and I honestly thought I might win this thing by a lap or two. But yeah, those laps that he did in the middle stint really brought him back into contention through the middle phase of the race when he started doing 23s. My goodness. Beric Linton, as I mentioned, did lose the lead lap in the end. Tony Quinn 2 laps down, followed by Rod Salmon 3 laps down, and they were the fastest of the contenders. Tyler Mecklem finished next, not too far between himself, Garth Walden and Rick Shaw, as well as the Audi of Jason Bargwana, all on the same lap, as well as the Lexus RCF of Steve Owen. So yeah, they were all within range of each other and all swapping positions throughout the race. Actually, I thought Lexus might be a little bit faster than that, but it wasn't to be for Steve Owen. But that rounds out the top 10. There you go. 6 hours at 1 minute. 6 hours at 1 minute, 28.335 seconds of racing. I'm going to get out of this screen before this loop of music drives me crazy. 144,606 credits into the bank. That is a daily marathon. 866 kilometers. Wow. 6-star alert ticket. Come on. Oh, wow. There was a time I got 1 million credits from a 6-star alert ticket, and that would very, very, very much make me happy. So let's hope we get one of those. Let's do it. Okay, we've got a car. It is a Ford GT-LM Spec 2 test car. Not a huge Ford fan, but that's not too bad. Alrighty, well, that is it for this one. It's been a fun race. Like I said, thoroughly enjoyed doing that. That was a lot of fun. Took a while, but yeah, it's something new, something fun, something different, and yeah, was awesome to do. So yeah, other than that, I don't think there's really much left to say. So yeah, I'll say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to give me some feedback in the comments about the live commentary and just the video in general. Let me know if you want to see more like this. I would be more than happy to do something like this again. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Oh my god, this song, honestly.